Welcome to the second video in our AuthorTube interview collection. Let's meet the AuthorTubers.
Hola amigos, my name is Emma Bennet and my YouTube channel is Emma Bennet Romance Author. I write contemporary romance and children's picture books, and my channel is there to follow my author journey and also to give some writer tips and advice.
Hi, my name's Joe from the SixCats Press YouTube channel. I write novels and plays under my pen name Dirk Van Houten along with others. It's a pleasure to be here as a guest on Tanya's Writing Room. Super happy. Cheers.
My name is Petrie and my channel is called Petrie, and on that channel, in addition to vlogs and general writing stuff, I have a lot of videos about pursuing traditional publishing and the querying process.
What genre do you enjoy writing the most?
I write contemporary romance and children's picture books. I think I love writing them both equally. I guess it almost depends what kind of mood I'm in as to which I would rather write on a given day.
In terms of genres, I definitely think I stick kind of more to the new adult area. You know, stories about people who are just coming out of university, just figuring out who they want to be as adults.
Portal fantasy all the way. It's my absolute favorite.
How long have you been writing for?
I've been writing for about 12 years now. It's been 9 years since my debut novel, The Green Hills of Home, was first published. I self-published that originally and then it was taken on by a publisher.
I've been writing for, writing novels. I've been writing probably for about 5 or 6 years now. But before that, all the way back through university, I was writing plays. So I've written several plays, most of them terrible. One of them actually got performed, which is awesome. But yeah, in terms of novels, just the last, 5 6 years.
I wrote my first book at the age of 4 and sold it to my dad for a quarter. It was not very complex. I wrote my first book with chapters when I was 10, and I got serious about writing, actually revising, researching literary agents, pursuing traditional publishing in 2018 at the age of 37.
Have you ever taken a creative writing or a literary course?
No, I've never taken a creative writing course, but I do go to writing conferences whenever I can, and I have quite the collection of creative writing books, which I love reading and referring back to.
Nope. Aside from maybe some introductory classes when I was at university.
I did take a creative writing class in college. I have heard a lot of things about creative writing teachers and their snooty emphasis on literary writing, and my professor is actually super cool.
Do you listen to music while you write?
No, I don't listen to any music when I write. I like the room to be as quiet as possible. I do have quite a big, noisy family though, so that is not always the case, but that is what we aim for. I find music far too distracting when I'm trying to think.
I don't listen to music while I write. Well, I should change that. I'm not listening to music when I'm writing the book I'm working on now. I do listen to it to get amped and get ready for it, because the book I'm writing is about a band. So listening to other music it doesn't work. But before, especially with my last book, I listened to Symphonie Fantastique when I was writing or editing. Symphonie Fantastique is a fantastic classical-ish piece by Hector Berlioz, which I absolutely love, and it always kind of puts me in a creative mood.
Never. Never, never, never. I love silence.
Do you schedule your writing time?
I do try to schedule in my writing time. I have 4 children and we have a very busy life, so if I don't think about exactly when I will do my writing, frankly, it just doesn't get done. Usually I write between the hours of 4 and 6 every day. Ideally, I would do more than that and get a writing session done in the morning or later on in the evening after that, but that's kind of set in stone. If I'm at home, I will be working between 4 and 6 p.m.
I'm currently doing a writing challenge because I've always struggled to write from home. My last couple of books I wrote on vacation, which was usually on snobby to say, but normally on cruise ships, when I was on vacation with family or by myself, the one time I went on a cruise by myself. So trying to build a pattern of writing at home is something that I've been doing, and that's actually kind of been why I started my own AuthorTube channel, just to document that. So right now I wake up around 6ish in the morning, Mountain Time, and I write for 500 words, and then I have to be logged in for work by 7:30 in the morning, so that's my window. Though if the mood takes me later on in the days, I will write again, but that's just extra. But for sure the 500 words every morning is what I do.
My scheduled writing time looks like nap time, if you can see the little fuss budget here. So my older kids have quiet time in the early afternoon in their own rooms with stuff to do, while the small sad one takes a nap, and that is when I can write. Other than that, it's late in the evening.
Have you ever joined NaNo WriMo, or do you plan to in the future?
No, I haven't done NaNo WriMo before, but I am going to attempt it this year. I'm going to be starting a new project, which I will do for Preptober, and then I will be writing 50,000 words of it in November.
Yes, I did participate in NaNo WriMo. I think it was 2017, maybe 2016. That's when I wrote my very, very first novel, which is the one nobody ever going to read that one. But it was just incredible to finally put out I think in the month I was able to write about 55,000 words on it, and that was basically the whole draft. And then I looked at it a month later and was like, no. But my second book, I also challenged myself, and maybe this is part of the thing about cruise ships, when I'm in the writing on the cruise ship thing, because, if I'm gone for 2 weeks, my goal was to come back with 50,000 words. People think I have ADD. So I have done NaNo WriMo before, but I'm not doing it right now with this book. Right, with this book, I'm actually trying to build a sustainable habit that I can do every single day.
I've been participating in all 3 NaNo events every year for the last few years. I can see the possibility of life getting in the way and not participating, but mostly I'm going to participate every single time, even if I'm not always going to win.
Has another author inspired your writing style in any way?
I don't think that there is a particular author which has inspired my writing style. I do read an awful lot, and I try to mix up genres as much as possible, although rom-coms and women's fiction are my favourite, as well as traditional romances. So I think it's an amalgamation of all of the authors that I love, which have hopefully inspired my writing.
Inspiring authors, Anne McCaffrey, Tamara Pierce, Rachel Aaron for sure. Just everything's inspiring, right? Like, everything you read, you'll learn something new, whether that's fiction, nonfiction, like, everything. I mean, yeah, it's not a great answer, but that's kind of where I'll say. Now, I do have favorite authors, and Scott Meyer I'm a huge fan of Scott Meyer, and Andy Weir, but I think in terms of inspiring my writing, it's everything you read, you like you said, you learn something, and it gives you a new idea.
I mentioned Portal Fantasy earlier. The biggest influence on me as a writer, on the fact that I wanted to be a writer, and maybe even on my whole worldview, is the fact that my father read the Chronicles of Narnia to me when I was way too young to understand the difference between fantasy and reality. So, C.S. Lewis.
How long have you been a part of the AuthorTube community?
I have been part of the AuthorTube community for 4.5 months now, and it has been an absolutely brilliant time.
I've been part of the AuthorTube community as a creator for just a couple of weeks now, honestly. But I have been following along, like Alexa Dunn, Kate Kavanaugh, and Self-Publishing with Dale. I've been following along with lots of AuthorTube channels for a while before that, when I was working on publishing my first book that I actually published. So yeah, I've been long time observer, first time commenter kind of thing.
I started my AuthorTube channel in February of 2019.
Has joining the AuthorTube community helped you in some way?
Joining the AuthorTube community has meant just so much more support. It's lovely to know that there are so many other writers out there struggling with the same things that you're struggling with. Offering advice and support is an absolutely brilliant network.
Joining the AuthorTube community has definitely helped me, I would say, even if it's just because now there's somebody, in my mind, there's somebody holding me accountable to 500 words a day, because there have been, 500 words a day is not a lot, but there have been mornings where I've woken up and I'm just tired and I'm like, it's going to be a long day. I didn't sleep well. I'd rather just not, I'll take a break, and I know that if I wasn't doing the AuthorTube thing, I'd be like, I'm going to take a break. Oh, I took a break yesterday, so I can take another one. And then next thing you know, you're not writing. So that is the biggest thing that's helped me. Now, for self-publishing and stuff, when I was working on my books, Dale's channel really helped a lot with that. And so I mean, it's helped in terms of watching has helped in terms of getting resources and knowledge so that I could do this. In terms of being a creator, it's helped me in terms of actually building a writing habit, which is a healthy writing habit.
The best thing about AuthorTube has been accountability for me. The community makes me feel like I have support, and the fact that I put my goals out there makes me more likely to achieve them. I would not have accomplished the many things that I have in the few years since I started my AuthorTube channel, which includes first drafting 5 books, many rounds of revision, and querying 1 book and beginning on the querying journey with a second book. I would also say that the ability to find beta readers among those AuthorTube friends has been an incredible help.
If you could meet any AuthorTuber in person, who would it be and why?
The AuthorTuber that I would like to meet in person would be Jessica Tesha. I really love her channel and we are now beta readers for one another. It would just be really nice to be able to meet up for a cup of coffee with her, but unfortunately she lives on the other side of the Atlantic, so I don't know when that would be possible.
I think I'd have to say Dale Roberts. I'd like to meet him in person, and that's just so I could buy him a beer, because when I was doing the book that I published, I love audiobooks, and I always wanted an audiobook, and he showed me how I could make an audiobook, and I will be grateful for that for forever.
I live in quiet little Vermont, so there's not a great deal of likelihood that I am going to meet other AuthorTubers, but I would love to meet any of them, any of the fantastic people I've interacted with over the last few years. At this point, I spend a lot of time with Marcus and Matilda, who live stream on Thursdays at a time that's really convenient for me, but they live in Sweden, so I don't know that I'm super likely to meet them in person. One of my oldest AuthorTube friends, though, is Laura Wrights, and I know she likes to travel, and she lives in the United States, so maybe someday I will get to meet her in person.